Imagine you're 1,000 hours into the game you just purchased not too long ago. Things are going well and then you trip up and you hit this snag. At 1,001 hours, you have this epiphany. The game suddenly becomes broken, unplayable, a waste of time, or worse yet, trash. Now that may sound a bit ridiculous, but these type of hyperbolic statements are littered everywhere in gaming. Some might say it's now gaming culture, others might say it's the internet, but I'm curious how we've gotten to this place. I can remember a time where I had to beg and plead with my mom to get one game, and I grew up with my brother, so that means sometimes we were begging for 2 games, one apiece. And then when we couldn't get that, we'd be begging for one game that both of us could play. The effort that we used to put into getting that one game, I'm talking about, you guys know this, you got to get the good grades, right? The chores, y'all, the chores, so many chores, y'all. Then when we got the game, or I got the game, I made sure I played, even if it was a single player game, I made sure I played it 10 times at least. And then for some of you that remember this, those instructions with the pictures inside of it, man, I would get up, wake up, stare at those instructions 10 times a day, just for good measure. And I think I had a different level of appreciation for the games then because I had such a limited selection. And I knew that my mom wasn't going to buy me a whole bunch of games, y'all. So just thinking about, you know, the differences then, just thinking back on it, it makes me question why I end up being so critical now these days. You know, it just doesn't quite make sense. But wait a second. So imagine that a game costs $1,000. This game that you put 1,000 hours into, out of your own pocket, not your mom's. I'm quite sure if you paid that much money up front for a game after 1,000 hours, you'd probably be ready to throw some controllers and slam a couple doors too, talking about it's broken, it's unplayable, all those things. This isn't typically the case unless you're buying some auctioned off games dug up out of landfills. Speaking of which, the mental picture I have of my bank account draining by $1,000 for a video game has my heart wrenching right now, y'all. That's nuts. But I better damn well get 1,000 hours worth of gameplay if I'm spending that much money. Thank goodness, though, for the games that I've invested more than 1,000 hours into, I have not spent anywhere near that. So the question I have then is, how do we assign value to games? Should it be time played? Is it the combination of repeatable, memorable experiences and some nuanced gameplay that's never before been had? Or does it come down to how much winning you can do? Charlie Sheen in it. You just win, and so therefore you like the game. I don't know what necessarily constitutes that for you, but I'm curious. We're creatures ruled by emotions, so even if we only paid a trivial amount for a game, in some cases these days nothing, the rational reaction is probably unlikely because we've invested so much time into something that we ultimately end up caring about. I think the more time that we have invested, we tend to care more. So what do you guys think? Do you have friends that you know that play the hell out of certain games only to talk about how they hate those games? I know those people. I have friends that are just like that. And how do you assign value to games? Something to think about, y'all. I'll catch you later. Stay frosty.